Hello Jpopswizzlers, welcome back to another video. My name is Shakayla. Hi if you're new. Today's video is going to be showing you all of my books. I don't have many books to where it's like going to be a long video, but I just want to show you all my books because why not? I got my bookshelf from Walmart. It's just like a simple 3-shelf one. Stores pretty much all of my books besides the ones over there, which I'll show you as well. So yeah, I have this shelf, which is just a bunch of random books. This is my blue shelf and my pink shelf. As you can see, it desperately needs to be cleaned. That's why I'm filming this video, then my shelves can dry. Okay, so I cleaned the top shelf and we're gonna start with the top shelf. And yeah, like I said, the top shelf is mainly a bunch of just books that don't fit with the blue or the pink theme, or I'm not reading them. So they're my hardcover books, they're just like mystery books, and then some random ones. Now I tried to organize it by hardcovers and then by authors. So yeah, I'm gonna show you all of the books now. So starting off, we have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's still in the wrap, but I had been wanting like more classic books, so my friend got me this for Christmas. Okay, then we have As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Yeah, I have all of these books I have not read. So then we have Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I don't know how you say that. I got this at Savers, I guess. And then I have One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I watched the show in like, I don't know what grade it came out, but my teacher told us that this was a really good book, and I only ever watched the show, so I don't know if I'll ever read the book. Then we have Good Girl, Bad Blood. This book I have started. I read the first book before the show came out very quick, because I wanted to read the book, and I definitely will say I'm pretty sure my book is American based, so I was kind of confused on everything and it was a bit different, but if I had read the other version, I think it would have been a great adaptation, because I was kind of disappointed. So, and then we have The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. My aunt gave me this one. I'm not sure if she liked it though. I don't know. And then we have The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I'm very intrigued by it. So, and now I have the rest of this top shelf. So, we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I don't know how you say it. Because I think this book is very fitting for me. And then we have Layla by Colleen Hoover. I feel like I'm not gonna like this because it's like with a ghost or something. I don't know. And then we also have Verity by Colleen Hoover. Then we have She's Gone, She's Gone, She's Gone by David Bell. No idea. Then we have The Silent Patient by Alex. Oh, I don't want to butcher it. I've heard really good things about this though. And then we have No Excuses by Brian Tracy. Yeah, it's just basically about like your personal goals, money goals, and overall happiness. Overall happiness, oh my god. Then we have The Orphan Thief by, again, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Then we have Everything I Never Told You by Celeste M.G. This was when I went through a grieving period in my life. So, I don't know though. Then we have the Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and we also have the Final Gambit one. And I do have the second one in the series. It's just with the blue shelf, but you will see it though, don't worry. Then we have 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. You'll see I have like 2 more by her, I'm pretty sure. And I found this one at Target. I'm like, oh, I read the back and I'm like, oh, this sounds interesting. And then I realized I had 2 of her books at home. So, yeah. Okay, then we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yeah. Then we have The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, ? I read this in like 8th grade, I'm pretty sure, but I wanted to read it again. And then we have While We Were Dating by Jasmine. I don't know how you say that. I don't. I'm sorry. I apologize. And then we have The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I love To All the Boys I Loved Before. Like, I loved that one. I really want those books. But I also want to start reading these once I have the whole series. But I feel like I'll like it and I'll finally get into the lore because I've never seen this series either. Then we have Paper Towns by John Green. I remember so many of my classmates reading like his books, and I always was intrigued, but I never read them. So I found this at Savers and finally picked it up. And yeah. And then I have Collide by Belle. I don't know. My aunt gave me this book. She gives me a lot of my books. And then I have Emily Henry, People We Meet on Vacation. Heard very good things about Emily Henry's books. And then we have Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter, because I heard that one of these books are based, like, the guy's kind of like Joshua Bassett, and if you don't know me, I'm a big Joshua Bassett fan. So yeah. And then we have Tessa Bailey, Dream Girl Drama. Now, I have read a Tessa Bailey book. I was using Spotify, like the reading thing, and so I didn't finish it. Plus, it was just so like smutty. So I am petrified to read her books, but yeah. Next we have the blue shelf. So the first book we have is The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. And then, oh my god, that's a thick book. Holy cow, that kind of makes me like, oh, I didn't like that. Okay, anyways. And then we have They Both Die at the End. I did start this, but my fear kind of was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that. So, and then we have The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. Now we have a few of Colleen Hoover books. So we have Reminders of Him, November 9th, Ugly Love, which I've started, and Confess. And then, oh my god, we have so many books, guys. Okay, we have Breakaway by Grace Riley, ? The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I've heard many things about these books, so I'm excited to read those. Then we have The Deal, which is the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. Yeah. Then we have The Whole Brain Child by Daniel J. I don't know. This was a book that was given to us to read for like our training, but we never went over it, so I don't know. And then we have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. So yeah. And then we have 7 Dirty Secrets by Natalie D. Richards. Again, I found this, I don't know why. I think maybe I was intrigued by it. I don't know. But I found it at Last Stop CD Shop. And then we have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Yeah, again, because I heard that one of these books remind them of Joshua Bassett. So, and then again with the John Green book, The Fault in Our Stars. And then All the Bright Places by Jennifer Naveen. I watched the movie on Netflix, so I don't know if I'll read this, but I loved the movie. It was so good, so sad. And then we have The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the series. And then we have a bunch of Tessa Bailey books. So we have the Our Parafair. I don't know how you say that, to be honest. I know what the word means, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know how you say that. It Happened One Summer. And then we have Hook, Line, and Sinker. And then we have Normal People by Sally Rooney. Now, I started this book, and then I DNF'd it, and then I put it in my basement, and then I brought it back up here because I'm like, I'll give it another try. I think what threw it off for me was like the no quotation marks in the book. I don't know. I don't know. I know other people like it, and I want to, but if I start to read it and DNF it again, then it's just not meant to be. And then we have Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. Again, there's so many books from my childhood that I remember seeing like my classmates read, and I was like always wanting to, but I never did. So yeah, that's my blue shelf. Back with the like books from my childhood, I think eventually, because I really suck at reading, but eventually I think I'm gonna do a like reading childhood chapter books, like Paper Towns, Fault in Our Stars, this one, and then Rules I have. So yeah, so I think that will be a fun video. Okay, last shelf, which is my pink shelf. Now again, I just want to say that a lot of these books are from my aunt. My aunt reads them and then gives them to me. There's very few that I bought, or my dad has, or I've gotten them for Christmas from my mom. So very few that I have bought. So I'm pretty sure most of these books on this last shelf is from my aunt. So just want to give you a heads up. I don't really have an opinion on all, like, of a bunch of them as of now. So yeah. Okay, so the first book I have is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, which I got suggested this book. I don't remember why or when. I know I was at the bookstore. Okay. Yeah, about that. There's a thunderstorm gonna happen. That really petrified me. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, One Last Stop, we did that. I have no idea what book. I think I just got to One Last Stop. So, okay. This book is by Chloe I don't know. Two wrongs make a right. I'm very intrigued by this, though. Then we have Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Again, I've started it, I guess. I don't know. I start a lot of books, like I said, and then I never finish any of them. So, yeah. I bought this. I think, I don't know for why, but maybe, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. And then we have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delilah Owens. I wanted this book, then I can watch the movie. I don't know if that'll happen. Then we have The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. And then we have Business Casual by B.K. Borison. This book is very, like, cute and just feels very, like, Pinterest-esque. And then we have The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. I know I've started it, but I was very thrown off by just how many words were on the page for some reason. We'll see. Then we have The Night Shift by Annie Crown. And then we have Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood. And then we have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. And then we have The Enemy by Sarah Adams. I have another book by her. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. And then we have The Love of My Life by Rosie Walsh. And then we have A Not So Cute by Megan Quinn. I do have my mom read this book, and then I bought her the second one. So, and then The Husband's Secret by Lainey, I don't know how you say that, but sounds intriguing from the back. And then we have Pretend You're Mine by Lucy Score. And then we have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. And then we have The Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. I feel like a lot of the books that my aunt gives me are like more like sport romances. So you'll see like a very big hockey theme. I don't watch hockey. I don't read about hockey. So, and then we have The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. And then we have Playing Hard to Get by Monica Murphy. Again, another sports. And again, another one. And then Playing by the Rules by Monica Murphy. I love the little sprayed edges on these two books. There's the thunder. So yeah, I love that. Anyways, I'm gonna go and put these away, and then we'll go to my nightstand where all my other books are. I want to know how I organize my shelves, like as in like how I put them. So like my blue shelf, for example, my pink shelf, and the top one, they're all organized by like the first letter of their first name. So yeah, they're in alphabetical order. Now we're going by my nightstand. Now all my books on my nightstand are books that I'm like currently reading, kinda like they've all been started. Now I know I said I had some books that I started over there, but they just don't fit in these books. I'm more like intrigued to read, so I'm gonna show you them all. First of all, I have this basket I got for Easter, and I put all of the hardcover covers in here because I don't like them. So yeah, okay, let me take them all off. Before I start, I have two books up here on my little nightstand, like actually, and those books are, because I don't want to take them all off right now, they're Rules and this book, I'm pretty sure, yeah, When You Ask Me Where I'm Going by Jasmine, I don't know how you say that, and then this one's by Cynthia Lord. So yeah, those are the books that's up on my actual nightstand. But on the bottom we have some books. So first we have Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before by Dr. Julie Smith, and I wish I could tell you what this is about, like off the top of my head. Basically it's like a bunch of like different tips. So this one's like understanding low mood. So I have annotated it. So it's on dark places. And yeah, I think it's basically like how to help you. So chapter 2 is motivation, so understanding it, and then like how, and then on emotional pain, grief, self-doubt, fear, stress, meaningful life. And yeah, so there's 8 chapters. Each chapter has like a little section on like how to deal with it, how to get past it, you know. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna put this on my actual nightstand because I am gonna go through a little stage in my life on needing motivation, so I'm gonna keep that up there. Okay, and then the next 2 books are both Alice Oseman books. These are the ones I need to read. This one I have not started, but I want to read all of Alice Oseman's books, so that's why they're, yeah. So we have I Was Born for this, and then we have Loveless, which I have started. So the first book we have is Better Than Fiction by Alexa Merton. Now, I have started this book, but I feel like I wasn't really liking it a whole lot. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. There's always chances I will. Then we have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Again, I sometimes I'll do this where I'll put like every like mark from the 100th page. So yeah, that's why those are there. And then we have We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I think there's a show or movie. I'm not sure. And then we have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I've started it. So one thing about these books over here is sometimes I'm so clumsy that my drinks spill. So then it goes down my drawer, sometimes into this drawer, okay? And it seeps into my bookshelf. I've had it happen twice now. The first time it didn't get on anything, which I was really surprised about because it went like literally everywhere else. And the second time it got on my books. So yeah, I'm just so happy about that. So some of these do have water damage, unfortunately. So then we have The Obsession by Jessie Q. Sutano. Now eventually I do want to get my Spotify book thing back, because that's the way I was reading this one. So I'm like almost done with it, only because I was reading it on like Spotify, well, listening to it on Spotify, which people cannot say like it's not reading because I'm listening, I'm taking in the information. So it's just, sometimes it's easier to listen than to actually read. And then we have Brosnan by Julia Earhart. No, Hart. Is it Julia Hart? I think it's just Julia Hart. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, I loved the Netflix series on her. It's very like interesting, and I wish they would put out a 3rd season, but you know, probably not, but I feel like it needs one. But yeah, I just, she's so cool, to be honest. And then we have Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. I've tried to read this, but I feel like it was pretty sad. So I don't know. Okay, and then we have If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin. I'm very excited to start this, even though it's very sad. And then we have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. And then we have Keep Me in Your Heart by Monica Murphy. This book, I feel like I could finish like here soon, so I'm actually gonna put it up. It's actually a pretty good book though. Yeah, but okay. And then we have The Island by Natasha Preston. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be an easy read. Like I said, I have so many other books that I'm like, oh, I want to read that first. And then we have 6 Months Later by Natalie D. Richards. This book is what sold me on getting the 2 books I found. of hers at that thrift store, because this is kind of very intriguing, actually. Basically, she falls asleep in study hall, and it's the middle of May, and then she wakes up to snow. So, yeah, very intriguing. I'm really curious to see what happens, actually, so I'm gonna put that up there, too. And then we have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Yeah. And then we have The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. Yeah, I haven't read them, though. Well, I've started them, but haven't read them fully yet. And then we have Tessa Bailey, Fangirl Down. This is the one I started. Now, I am actually farther in than my bookmark, but I could not tell you what chapter I am on, to be honest. So that's pretty sad, because I used the Spotify, like I said, I was running out of minutes, so yeah, and now it's like, I don't know what page I was on. And then that's the only downside to Spotify, is like, if you're not constantly moving your bookmark to the chapter, then you like lose your spot, especially if you run out of minutes. So anyways, then we had The Daughter of Auschwitz by Tova Friedman and Malcolm, I don't know, Barbrandt. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by like Auschwitz and stuff, so yeah. And then let me put those down here quick and show you my other book I'm reading. So I know I was talking about this on a different video, but I don't think that video is like gonna be uploaded. But I'm currently gonna be reading Anne Frank, The Diary of Anne Frank, because like I said, like I've always been intrigued by like history, especially like the books, like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. That really like got me. And yeah, I've had this book for like a very long time, though. I just never read it. Like I would start it, but then I wouldn't read it. So I really actually want to read it and see what happens. Like I know the gist of it, but I want to actually read her words and stuff. And yeah, so there's that. Those are the books I'm reading or I've started. So yeah, that's my little book collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about the power outage. That was really scary. I fully thought somebody was coming in to murder us. I watched too much true crime. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my little book collection. And tell me what books you want to see me read. I do have a few book videos in mind, like the reading childhood books, and I have another one. I don't know if I should say it, but I just need to get all the books to read. Again, I'm not a fast reader at all. I get distracted by TV shows and just work and then chores, and then I'm never motivated. So let me know if you want to see more book videos, because I want to do more book videos. It's just the process of actually being motivated to do them. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.